thank you so much for joining us today. I know you have many options for sessions, so we're very excited to get to talk to you about this. And so, yeah, thank you. My name is Melissa Torres. I am a product manager lead in the SharePoint Sites and Experiences team, the Sites and Pages Experiences team. And with me today, I have Wendy, our design manager, maker of beautiful things that you will see here today, as well as Judith Obi and Albert Zai. So you can get correct. To our awesome product managers alongside with me. And we have a lot of exciting and good stuff to show you. So, one of the most important jobs SharePoint is hired for is helping you all make engaging and visually beautiful sites and sharing them with your colleagues. With over 2 million sites created a day, you are in great company if you're using SharePoint to communicate as well as to store your knowledge. And if you store your knowledge in SharePoint, you get to take advantage of the awesome capabilities such as SharePoint agents, as well as the built business process around it, which we absolutely love. So it's a huge responsibility to be able to empower so many creators, which is why some few months ago, and actually some time ago, we embarked on a journey to overhaul our SharePoint sites user experience. And we thought about it as 3 pillars. First, enabling beautiful content, compelling content with best looks on the web. So that's our beautiful content category. Second, making our authoring experience easier to help you get started with creating pages and sites, as well as to help you in the flow of authoring. And last but not least, you don't create content just because you're having fun with it. You create content that you want others to engage with. And so it's about making sure that your content reaches the right audiences wherever they are. So with that, today, a lot of what we're going to show you is actually available in the product right now. So I want you to take advantage. And then at the end, I'll also cover some of the new stuff that will be coming soon. But yeah, wanted to make sure that I landed that you could take advantage of a lot of the stuff you're about to see. So with that, I'm going to give it over to Wendy to get us started.
Thanks, Melissa. As a designer who's been around web publishing for a pretty long time, I'm passionate about web content creation and really beautiful, immersive experiences that people love. In fact, the biggest reason that I came to SharePoint design team was because of that reason. My vision is to empower our users, regardless of their background, to craft high-quality web content with confidence. Knowing that most people aren't designers, we focused on building intuitive tools and experiences that make creation quick, easy, and with the right level to make pages visually compelling. So let's get started with the templates gallery. So we reimagined the new templates gallery. We wanted this experience to be central, so meaning you're not going to get a lot of different template pickers. You're just going to have one experience no matter where you come from. So if you come from the command and toolbar or the app bar or from Flipcham or Amplify, you're going to get the same gallery. And if you come from somewhere like, say, Flipcham, you're actually going to get a pre-filtered view for video templates. And rather than a modal, which is what we have in the past, we've created this as a full page experience to maximize the amount of content you could see on the page. We've also included a few new things like keyword search and filtering by categories. And of course, if you've got any templates saved to the site, you can see them right at top, front, and center. And now here's a quick look at the template preview experience. And again, we wanted to maximize the amount of space that template preview took up, so you really got a great skimmable view of it. We're adding 55 new page templates to the gallery. So we're going up to 12, and we're going to add the rest over the next couple of months. The new templates were created based on real business needs, categories, ensuring the templates would support poly scenarios. They take advantage of many of our new features. And we also look at these as thought starters to inspire ideas for adding content in new ways. We've also included images from the SharePoint stock photography library, which I know has only 500,000 images in it today, but we're expanding that to include 15 million images, beautiful, fresh images. Yay! And with the addition of the new images, simple word and multi-word search is much, much better than it used to be. So that's something to really celebrate. We hope that these new templates will help you create pages more quickly, inspire your creativity, and even provide some tips for ways to add content, new ways to add content to your sites. So now, onto flexible layout. So this is a new feature that takes full advantage of beautiful content creation. It's called Flexible Sections, which is now, I think, in full GA? Yeah. Yay, okay. So flexible sections provides users with an open canvas. So you are only limited by your own creativity. And you've probably seen some of the beautiful pages that we have brought to the conference today and showed in keynotes and other things. But just in case, here's some of the things that flexible sections can do. You can resize web parts. You can overlap web parts on each other. You can change front to back, back to front, and rearrange them. You can also group multiple elements together, group and ungroup. And then also you can multi-select. And I love multi-select and group and ungroup because I spend a lot of time on a bit of a layout. And then I don't want to lose it, then maybe I want to move it on the page, right? So grouping them all together, then move it as a unit, and you preserve that design that you created. Now, I love this feature, but I know it can be a little intimidating to get started because it's a lot of things to think about. So to help you out, we've created a flexible sections template library. This is filled with ideas, inspiration for creating beautiful pages. So it's a really great way to get started if you happen to use the feature. Here's a look. I'll just run through some of the templates really quick. So again, these were created to fulfill a variety of business purposes. And kind of a side note is these are really great companions to the new pages templates. And then just a final sidebar on that is it's like we have gotten feedback about mobile with flexible sections because you could see they're quite imaginative in some cases. So we've been working hard on that, and I think pretty soon we'll have available that mobile will like take your type into account, take your image size into account, and accents and things like that, and then reshuffle it in a way that makes sense for mobile users. On to editorial cards. So editorial cards is one of my absolute favorite features, and not just because it was my idea, but because it's actually a very useful feature. We designed this to provide you with a way to fully customize a card experience to do pretty much whatever you want, and it really works well elevating the content. So this web part makes it easy to feature stories, service important links, whatever you want, filling on your homepage, refreshing a section. You have full creative control over layout, imagery, copy, calls to action, making the content really So editorial cards have 3 different layouts to choose from: image overlay, color block and split. You can change the alignment of elements, so flush right, flush left, center stacked, top of the card, bottom of the card. You can change out the background to a color or an image. And you can also choose whether or not to use the category or pre-header, the headline, description, call to action. You could turn all these on and off. The call to action has 4 different styles, including you could just make that card all linkable. You can also turn motion on, so if you have a stack of cards, it's really nice. It's just a subtle coming into the page, so it's nothing wild, but it really makes that page look dynamic. Now let's look at a few other things that we've had to let you customize your site, making it unique to whatever you're looking to achieve, whether it's your brand or a particular type of content. So let's start with color. So I'll go up to the site branding, and you could choose from, you'll get up to 16 color combinations. So you get a primary color, up to 7 secondary colors. You can customize those. If you look on the right and see a preview of how those colors will look on your page, or if you just want to go by single color element, you can look at it there. So you can really get a look at what your page is going to look like. You can also buy custom fonts. So in this case, I'm adding a couple that I already had. But you can, if you go to Brand Center, I believe, and if you upload your own fonts there, you can add them here as well. So looking at this in action, I can go to change the look from settings, and now I can preview various fonts to see what those look like on my page. So you can see I'm previewing here, they're changing. It's a really great way to see it real time. Then you can save whichever one you want. You can also look at those theme colors and change your color now using any of the private but the secondary theme colors. And then finally, you can look at those 16 color combinations, put them in your section backgrounds, or you can choose an image, which is what I did here. And finally, so we worked on a lot of things, a lot of new capabilities, and one thing that's a little tired is our header and our footer, especially with that command-y toolbar going right through the center of the page, breaking up your font set, which I don't know, feels kind of messy to me. So to address this, what we've done is we've simplified the header area. So we worked to create a seamless content experience. So this is now what we'll get in view mode. So you see that command-y toolbar is no longer in your way. All of your content really shines. And we have OSPI ability to share. It's up there with the navigation. And you can also still get to be more through here. But all in all, just exceed your, the content with clean experience. So that's a quick look at how SharePoint has been evolving to make page creation quick and easier. We also hope with the new tools and templates, you'll be inspired to create some really beautiful pages. Melissa, back to you. You're going to take us in deeper into simple authoring.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm really excited for everything that Wendy showed. I think it unlocks so much potential, so much customizability, and really unleashes your creativity. So I can't wait to see what you build with it. And we actually have somebody who's going to show us not only us building it, but putting it into practice at the end of the session. So stay tuned for that. Now, let's talk about the second pillar, which is about simple authoring, which is really how to transforming the way that you actually create and edit your pages and news posts. And this is important, right? Because it's not only about making your stuff look great, but it's about making that process way more easier. And we're going to kind of divide it into two. First, I'm going to take you some what I'm calling the door updates. And then my friend Albert's going to take you how we are using AI to help empower you to be able to do things even faster. So with that, one thing that, how many of you out there have used Pages before or authored a page? Show of hands. My people. Awesome. So how many of you have run into the case of having to deal with a lost page, somebody who left out, or somebody who didn't save his draft or didn't publish it? Thank you. So we are getting rid of all that. And that's why we're introducing the ability to collaborate on pages with co-authoring. And we're really excited for this because what this does is not only prevent pages from getting lost, but also empowers you to not have to coordinate with other folks. Hey, do you mind getting off the page? Or let me wait till I know everybody's out of it by working at 9 p.m. at night to get it done. See, he's nodding. He's he knows that. And so we're really excited about what this does. And it's going to work a lot like you're familiar with other Office apps where you get the presence at the top of the page, but also the individual presence on where folks are in the elements that they're editing on the page. So we really think this is going to be a game changer. It's going to open up new scenarios, and we can't wait for you to take advantage or use it. Now I'm actually going to switch gears and give you a demo of some of the other updates we've done. The most popular web part we have that almost everybody uses is text, the text web part. And we understand that in some cases, it's really important to be able to have more power you can do there. And it's one of the things that we believe, making sure that we listen to all of you and your feedback and make improvements on. So although we show a lot of good new stuff, we're also about investing in the stuff that you use every day. And so for that reason, we've done a ton to the text web part, starting with more color options than before, similar to what Wendy showed in theming. We now have not only the theme colors, but now you can also add any color that you want so that you could set the color font to the side, that's where I make it red. And it's not only to there, you could also, for example, I have this nice table we are introducing what we're calling this table toolbar to give you more control. So now you can also do things like this and have your table represent status or any other color that you want. Thank you. And look, I kind of doing things nice fun because I am a huge table person. Like I love to represent stuff in tables. And so obviously it's sort of bit this for me. So I'm glad that I can go back and be like, people applaud this. It wasn't just me. But a couple other things I wanted to showcase is now we have the ability to merge cells, which was something that I really wanted. You also have the ability to pick the entire table and change for different layouts, change to different border styles, even weights. So way more controls than you've ever had before to make sure that you have capabilities of, conveying the data and information the way that you want it. And even aligning content, something as simple as that. So again, empowering you all to have the information that you need, but also the tools to make it how you want. Also, it's not just about tables. We understand in Microsoft, we use a lot of quotes a lot. And so one thing is we introduce way more quote styles as well. So here's an example of what that looks like. And now we flexible sections can bring it all together to make a really pretty section like this. So anyway, can't wait for you all to use that and give us more feedback, and hopefully this warms your heart, so it warms mine. Now, one more thing I wanted to talk about is accessibility. And I know for many of you, accessibility is a critical piece. And so we do continue to invest in it. We recently shipped the ability to set headings for every web part, but we also introduced an accessibility checker. And this is to help our authors make sure that they're building accessible content. And with some, yay! Thank you. And with something like this, I can go and tell me, like, for example, hey, it's missing context. And it'll actually take me to where exactly the item is that is missing. So again, all in our effort to kind of make it easier for authors to build not only great looking content that Wendy showed, but make it easier and accessible as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over back to Albert to take it away.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. And unfortunately, I can't prepare any Star Wars joke, finance of it. But what I will do is I will rehash a few things that I learned from the keynote early on today. I hope all of you had a chance to listen to it. If not, I encourage you to watch the recording afterwards. First thing, I think Jared mentioned in terms of the AI adoption journey, most companies today are in phase 1. And what I mean by phase 1 is human leveraging AI as assistants. What you'll see today as part of the simple authoring capabilities we're introducing is AI Kaiopaka. And second thing, as Scott from Holland America has also mentioned, is with the very powerful and new app they have launched, one of the key things it did mention is they have to really enrich the amount of context that hollandamerica.com contains in order to feed into Anna, to be able to provide the type of assistance that's required for all the customers around the globe, for all purposes across the entire digital journey. So the same is true. If you want to take advantage of Copilot, if you want to help ensure, regardless of business function or about the type of role that people are doing, is able to take advantage of Copilot, then you need contents on your intranet too. And this is why, today we're introducing a lot of capabilities, both AI and non-AI capabilities, to help motivate and also help people create quality contents, more of them on their tree list going forward. And last but not least, Dr. Lakani from Harvard Business School mentioned that AI actually also makes people happier. So we believe that not only it will make the authors happier, but it will actually make the consumers happier too, because now you're interacting with high quality contents that are written in a very legit manner, right? But he also did warn us that because the impression that AI is super reliable, super helpful, and if it does do things and it might need speed, that sometimes people fall asleep on the wheel, right? So we need to make sure that humans still in the loop not a one-click publish journey. That's just unrealistic, okay? So going into a little bit more details in terms of AI power offering here. First, you want to streamline the publishing journey. I think many of and the users that we work with, they struggle with, what do I write on? Where do I start? And how do I create the beautiful looking pages that Wendy has just showed me, right? Every time I see the beautiful work from Wendy, I always ask myself, how do I do? So it's super important that we help this because not everyone has the talent, the design capabilities that our professional designers do. So we need to make it effortless for people to really create beautiful pages. And last but not least, how do we help them to really reach a draft at lightning speed, but more importantly, a trusted draft? You see, if you look at any publishing journey, research is actually a very chronic capability. Because if someone starts writing just based on things out of his own head, it could be based on outdated information, or the person could be just flat out wrong, right? So this is where we also believe AI can help us. Yeah, I'm going to show you a demo. In this demo, you'll see that leveraging AI, Copilot and SharePoint capabilities, a user is able to take a meeting recording, in particular, a product launch meeting recording, and convert it into a product launch news post in a matter of minutes. So first of all, the user will click on, just like publishing any pages, but instead, a new page with Copilot. And here, I'll actually select one of the AI-infused templates, which is the meeting newsletter template. And I'll go ahead and select the product launch meeting recording as the grounding data. But not only I can select the grounding data, but actually I can tweak the contents that's in the template. And here, I'm not just changing the section title, but I'm actually inserting prompts, instructions, in what I would like to be generated within this section. Now I proceed to create with AI. And while the AI creates, we actually do this in a streamed manner because we don't want the end user to wait until the very end before they start validating. We actually want them to start validating while the generation happens because this will give them an opportunity to validate. And if they don't like what they're seeing, they have a chance to abort and regenerate by tweaking the parameters as well. So you can see here, AI is generating not just text, but also inserting the video recording from the actual meeting into it with an agenda overview. And all of this is based on the grounding data that you have provided. Again, remember what I said, trusted drafting at speed, right? So it's providing a starting point for the author that's not zero. So you can get to 80% really fast, and you can start tweaking from that 80% polish. You can see here they actually picked one of the quotes from the CEO of the company during the product launch, right? So you see now everything is generated, including meeting participants, the people who are filled. AI did all this work for you in a matter of minutes. If you have to do this manually in the past, it will take a lot longer time and not a very pleasant work experience for sure. So now the user are at 80%. I have a draft that's ready for me, but of course it's not enough. I want to make sure to highlight the key messages in a beautiful design framework. So what I can do now is actually go select the key message section and actually go select the key messages section and actually leverage the zoom techniques to give me some ideas on how potentially I can adjust not just the layout, but also the formatting to really highlight this to the audience, readers. So I picked the last one because it has an image of the product, which is the drone. So that really helps brings the visual attention of the readers to this section, which is the most important key takeaways. Then that's not it. I want to leverage Copilot SharePoint to create a new section. I want to highlight the product benefits, three key product benefits. And you see here, AI actually suggested the key features, right? So I don't actually have to manually type out the prompt. I selected the suggestion, and this suggestion comes from AI analyzing the entire narrative of your perm page, your routing data, which I also provided here, the actual PPT that was used for the product launch. And you see now it generates not just the content, the three key benefits of the product, but also a beautiful section background. But it's not enough. I actually want more details. Well, I can type it, make it longer. And what AI will now do is go into the grounding data, fetch more details, and rewrite the content so that it actually contains more details. So voila, I created a new section for my news post in a matter, again, of minutes. So you can see the entire journey of going from zero, nothing, simply by leveraging the meeting recording. I'm able to quickly generate a draft, polish on the draft, adding new sections, making the existing sections look better. All in a matter of minutes, and also, very importantly, zero design skills required. So that's super powerful. Thank you. Now, before I move on to the next part, I want to ask all of you, who has the pleasure to have to create an FAQ page or a document or anything in class? That's a lot of them. And I'm sure you wouldn't associate that experience with pleasure, right? Yeah, we've interviewed many customers when we were building this FAQ website, which I'm going to show you in a second. None of them described it as pleasant, but they have to do it because this is actually a very crucial aspect for any sites, especially ones about whether product or events like this or policies, where you really want to help support the visitors, right? Site visitors, so that they get the answers they need. Actually, someone asked me, do you even need FAQs anymore with Copilot? Personally, I think yes, we still need it, right? Even with Copilot, we need it because it's going to be a very important piece of content that's going to effect into Copilot and agents to help agents providing that answers to the users too, right? So it's not going to go away because FAQ is meant to be a very well curated piece of content done by a human, so that makes sure site visitors, or in this case AI agents, are able to leverage that to provide meaningful answers to the users too. So it's not going to go away, it's going to even be more important, and then we should even promote contents like FAQ higher in both search and also AI agent responsive. Now, without further ado, I'm going to show you how to actually do that. So here what you see is the product page for the new product that was just launched. I'm going to go into the product page, actually insert a new section, and now add a new web part, just like any web parts, call it the FAQ web part. And the setup is super easy. All I have to do is select a few grounding names. So in this case, I'll select the product launch, PPT. I'll select two more Word documents, the product brochure, and another document for the sales team to serve as grounding data. But here, I'm actually going to select purpose, the purpose of the FAQ. And in conjunction, I'm going to select, actually enter some instructions for AI, for the generation. And this is actually very important. Why select the purpose? Because even though from the user perspective, all it did is selecting the purpose, in this case, a product FAQ, in the background, depending on what user selected, we're basically loading an extensive set of instructions that basically consume all the best practices in the industry, how to write a very good product FAQ, how to write a very good event FAQ, or how to write a very good policy FAQ, all into that. So depending on what you select, AI will leverage those instructions to start the generation. And you see here, it start generating the categories. And the categories, user can, again, have the chance to review, remove, edit the categories before proceeding to the next step, which is the generation of questions. And this is actually very difficult, as all of you who work on FAQ know. Picking the right question is not easy. So what AI is doing here It's basically leveraging best practices and also the grounding data to help generate these questions based on characters. And you see here, again, human in the loop has the chance to edit the question, move them around, drag and drop, or even delete some of the questions they don't want. So human is constantly involved. AI is not the only person doing the work, but it makes the job for the human a lot easier. So once I'm good with a set of questions, I move on to generating the answers for the questions, right? And again, AI is leveraging the grounding data to generate these answers to make sure they're accurate, they're relevant, and they're generated, again, following the best practices of how you write answers for FAQs in general. So you can see here, it not only helps you to do the job a lot faster, but unless all of you are very experienced in writing up FAQs, you have to go through extensive training or at least research on the web to figure out, if I have to write an event FAQ, what are the things I need to watch for? What are typical questions people expect? And all that information, stuck it into your head before you can actually start creating, right? So AI basically did all the work for you. You all, human is constantly in the room throughout the entire process, step by step, reviewing it, providing input, real-time feedback to AI, so AI can adjust it along the way until now you have a fully comprehensive, trusted FAQ list that you can now publish to your page. How amazing is that, all right? But then, with all these amazing content built by AI or non-AI, it means nothing if people don't use it, people don't get engaged to it. So now I'm gonna invite my colleague Judith on stage to show you how to get it engaged with your audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert. It is great to see how people can create content now easily with the help of AI and have the human knowledge in the loop as well, right? So thanks, Albert. I'm here to talk about deeper engagement. And I have two themes actually here that I want to show you on what we think about when you talk about deeper engagement. One is definitely how do people discover the content. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. How do they easily find, you've got a goal scheme of easy, right? Easy to create, but then also easily find this content. And then also, how do they connect and how do they engage? Here we go to is deeper engagement that we want to achieve with the content that we are creating before. Now, but first to do this, we need to understand how do people actually consume content? Because it's quite diverse. It's not one tool anymore, as you know. Some people prefer to read on Teams, others live in Outlook. And then others engage with, well, engage. And the goal for us in SharePoint, the team, is really to connect with the users where they are. We want to know where the audience is, but then also with the info that they need at the time that they need. And I'm really happy to introduce Amplify directly from Share. And to this, well, they're going to go into a demo. Is Amplify from SharePoint? You can actually send it to log in. So with Amplify from SharePoint, you can share across all these channels, but the good thing is also you get the reporting on it as well. So you learn this and you can improve your communications and your messages along the way. You have the content that Alban has created, 80% with AI. I was the 20%. I kind of augmented it a little bit because I want to show off some features here as well, so you kind of have an idea what we can do with distribution of the content here, right? So again, I have included here a little GIF, the content that Albert had already that was AI generated. And what I can do here now, I just click Amplify, and I can select which distribution channels I want to send this message to. Now, aware, you don't need to select everything all the time, of course, right? Again, as I said before, you learn from the cohesive reporting that we are creating for you, that you know where are your users, at what time, and where do you want to send which information where. This is really the core part of this one. For this demo, of course, I'm going to say everything, because I want to show everything. So, the good thing about Amplify for SharePoint is you can really preview what it looks like in the channels that you're sending to, and we're going to do the tailoring for you. So you can see here, it's clean sections, everything is kind of layered. tailored to Outlook, in this case, the video case inline, the GIF, I'm sorry, but GIF, it kind of transfers as well. So it looks exactly as wanted. Now, before you send this to all employees, if you have a large company, you probably want to send yourself a test email. I know I want to do this, not because I don't trust these features, but it is because I want to see it in my mailbox how it is. And then I'm going to select here all employees. I'm going to send it also to Albert. He created this, so let's just get him CC as well on this one. Now, next on, I'm going to go to Teams. And again, I'm going to show you real quick how the content is now tailored to this channel as well. I'm going to go down here. Teams, of course, is a one-column channel, so everything kind of is reverted and kind of looks like that is the best reading flow for Teams here as well. Now, everything in every channel, what I can do, I can send it also as a link. If you want to drive traffic back to SharePoint, you can do this as well. Just send it as a link here. A show of hands. Who is using Engage? Who is publishing to Engage? Quite a few people go here. This was one of the biggest asks when we said, like, okay, we want to distribute to different channels to also go to Engage. And I'm really excited to show you right now how we're going to enable you to distribute your communication also to Engage. We are taking advantage of the new article format in Engage, so all the images stay in line. Some the video kind of goes to the bottom. So everything is clearly and cleanly formatted and tailored to the Engage channel as well. The GIF plays, everything looks great. What I can do here as well as in other channels, I can also publish in the name of somebody else if I have delegation rights. So let's just see here, I think Manika, I can publish in the name of Manika. She presented this yesterday as well. But again, Albert, of course, created this content, so maybe I should give the kudos to Albert. But no permissions. Albert doesn't trust me, hasn't given permissions. So here's an error. I cannot kind of send in his name in this case, right? So I'm going to go ahead. I take all that just for myself. I'm going to send it in my name. But I can set people CC and tag them. So I'm going to do this here as well. One thing that's also very unique to this distribution from SharePoint, with the amplifying from SharePoint, is that you can publish this into multiple channels. This is something that we clearly heard from customers, that they said, we do this manually already. We're going to go to different communities and publish it there. So you can now do this also. You can go to communities. In this case, I'm going to select marketing and sales and publish it to different communities. As we engage, of course, you can send it as an announcement. When you send it as an announcement, the members of the communities will get a little notification and can engage with the content right there. Last thing here, we're going to go to additional sites. So sometimes it is necessary that you publish the content, either so it was already published on your main site. You might want to get it to a different site if there's very little audience overlap. In this case, I'm going to do this. It's just the regular SharePoint page, a cover page sites that is very specific to green energy and to sustainability, and this content kind of needs to reach those people as well. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this there. So let me see here. Let's click Amplify here, and you're going to see how this is going to go away. And then it's going to amplify the post. And I get a message. It has amplified as well. And now hold please on to your seats, because, hold on, I'm going to take you 7 days in the future, okay? Because this post was not amplified, and we want to see the reporting, okay? 7 days in the future from now, you're going to see what this looks like, what the engagement you got, right? So again, the engagement is directly available from SharePoint. You can click on this one. There's a little bug. You see the gray wash. Just ignore those, please, okay? But you see there was one that's a 1,073 unique users that have engaged, and then you have little switches and you can see the engagement per channel. So really learn where do people click, where do they go to, right? And you can obviously go and see all the engagement per hour as well. I think that's the next slide, yeah. You see what time of the day they engage. You always see all the promotions, the reactions that you got to this one. You can analyze this and learn from this for your next point, yes. And I can open this and I can view the full article as well. Again, we take advantage of the article format so you can really go through the article and how it looks like. Now, let's talk about Teams for a little bit here. So we really want to reach people where they are, and a lot of people are already in teams, right? So this is where we want to reach people there. And it's really your organizational system, your organizational operational system that you have there. And so what we really want to do, kind of what Teams is, it's a lot of your door to your corporate intranet. So what we have directly in Teams, again, your door to the corporate intranet, is your Connections Home. Connections Home is everything at your fingertips that you need, that your employees need. If they have a conversation about like, oh, vacation is coming up, they want to know where the holidays are, there's kind of the next holidays that are coming here on Memorial Day 26. So this is all of Connections Home. And so this is really what we want to drive as well. We want to drive people to go to Connections Home. And then what they can do here as well, they have a good overview of the news. And this is really what I want to show you, 2 things today on the news. You know, the news, so that your personal feed, everything that is published in your organization, from HR, from different departments, everything is collected here in this personalized feed for you. And this kind of prioritizes based on what your favorites are, what you have visited last. All this is kind of come together here, right? Now, this is a lot to browse through. Lots to do here, lots to read if you have the time. If you don't have the time, you can go and just read the highlights here. I should zoom in here a little bit. It has a read the highlights. Click in here, and it generates here the summary of the top news. So if you're in a rush and you need to go somewhere and you need to know everything that's going on in your organization, you're gonna go in there and have the information at a glance. Sports AI-powered summaries, you get the gist on what's going on at a glance. If you wanna deep dive in anything, you're gonna go in here and kind of go directly to the publication itself, see what it is. One last thing we're going to talk about is kind of how Copilot can also power an audio briefing for you. So listen to the recap here.
It is scheduled to take place on the 8th of May at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Participants are invited to log in to join a live Q&A session with the Chief Technology Officer. This provides an opportunity to engage directly in
Now, of course, you can fast forward.
effective team building, manager tips for success. High-performing teams are essential for maintaining an organization's competitive.
And like faster, so you really get updated. Let's go back from the door to the corporate internet and talk what we talked about today to discover, amplify from emails, teams engaging in SharePoint, and then also the Copilot's powered summaries, connections. But Melissa said this already before, right? This is all, of course, based on feedback that we got from you. All these tools were developed based on feedback that we got from you, but they're still the kind of theoretical. And you want to know what they look like in the real world. And with this, I'm going to talk about the hackathon that the SharePoint team has created, and that have 4 categories. And we have a winner of 1 category with us today. And I would like to invite Richard to the stage today. Richard Hunt, and what is Malika? Malika is not here, right? Yes. Richard, we included a couple of slides, what you have done. So tell us a little bit on how you have gone about this.
Yeah, my name's Richard. We submitted our intranet. It's a marketing and communications intranet to the SharePoint Hackathon in April. We've been using SharePoint for communication, collaboration, and productivity. Communication, a lot of the things that I just would talk about, getting content, news, personalized information to our users in a timely manner. Collaboration, plugging into teams like Viva Engage, Q&A, polls, open discussions, trying to build that in. And then productivity, so playing with agents and some of the new Copilot features as well. So you can see here, this is a screen cap of our one of our flexible sections that we're using. Again, this was totally designed in SharePoint which was a game changer, totally new, something I've never seen till recently. I've been using SharePoint for many years. And like I was saying, Malika, you worked on this page with me. She's fairly new to SharePoint, and she was able to pick this up and start building and designing right away. A lot of this helped with the inspiration of the design ideas. You were able to just quickly come up with sections, add them on the page, swap colors, add our own fonts and branders with the brand center, and make it our own. So, yeah. Here's another example of the flexible sections. Again, we kind of went really crazy with this. We put a lot of different layers, vector shapes, SVGs, things of that nature. And here's again the whole page for our marketing and communications site, where we have carousel, editorial cards, and things of that nature pointing to information and content. So yeah, we got the peek behind the curtain with the hackathon. It was really great to play with some of these new features, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you for trying that. That was awesome to see, like, not only the stuff that we show, right, that we make, but also get to see somebody like Richard of his team. So thank you for sharing and participating in the hackathon and willing to come up here and share his journey. So yeah, to kind of wrap us up, I wanted to showcase these slides that kind of show, hey, I know we showed you a ton of good innovations and good stuff today, and wanted to give you a quick glance of like, hey, here's the stuff that's available today, and then some of the stuff that we talked about that's coming soon. And so you can see here in the beautiful content, the flexible sections that Wendy talked about, custom fonts, section backgrounds, all really good stuff, as well as the template gallery that's going to serve as a lot of inspiration for you all is coming soon, and the site branding to have enabled multi-colors more than ever before. So stay tuned for that. In the simple authoring innovations, Copilot for Creatives is available in preview, design ideas, co-authoring is rolling out. The text enhancements that I shared my love for with all of you. And then some of the upcoming stuff is the create section with Copilot and the FAQ web part that Albert showed us the journey for. So really excited about all of this coming soon. And last but not least, in the deeper engagement that Judith walked through, a lot of the good news from the Copilot summaries and connections, as well as the Amplify to Teams Engage in SharePoint. So really hope that all this is something that you could take advantage of. If you need the traditional roadmap slide, here you go, that captures a bunch of these capabilities and when you can expect them. These are the available now, and you can look it up. And I've gotten this question a lot before, but we do publish in the roadmap, so do pay attention to the Microsoft 365 roadmap, as well as the SharePoint blog. If you don't follow the blogs, that's where we promote a lot of these features, and we even do videos showcasing, like, hey, here's how you can use the feature. So highly recommend that as ways to, be in the know of what's coming and when it's coming and all that good stuff. Thank you for all attending. And hope that you get inspired with what you saw today and give us feedback. So, you need that.